Hey everybody, it's Anna from Shakti Shak Yoga. This is a 60-minute all levels vinyasa that features a lot of side bending, a lot of my favorite poses. I find it to be a very soothing and grounding practice and hope you do too. Enjoy. Okay, good morning. Happy Monday. I don't know where you are yogaing from, but here it is sunny and gorgeous. I woke up and saw a coyote just kind of hanging out in my backyard, which was super cool. So I will hope to spend some time today outdoors, and also hope to find a place outdoors where I can have a little bit of quiet time, because although we're spending a lot of time perhaps in isolation or with a small group that we see a lot, I think it can be a little challenging to actually get some actual alone time. And sometimes alone time can be even a little bit scary. But I think also necessary, just to sort of get in touch with exactly what's going on, how you're feeling, what's up, and even kind of sitting with the feelings of discomfort that sometimes come up when we're all by ourselves. So with that in mind, I wanted to share a poem with you because it's National Poetry Month and we're sharing poetry all month, and I've had this poem memorized since I was like 10 years old. So it's called Afternoon on a Hill by Edna St. Vincent Millay. And if you want to take a comfy seat, let your eyes float closed, start to get settled, please do that. It's a short poem. She says, I will be the gladdest thing under the sun. I will touch 1,000 flowers and not pick one. Look at cliffs and clouds with quiet eyes. Watch the wind bow down the grass and the grass rise. And when lights begin to show up from the town, I will mark which wants to be mine and then start down. So maybe you can have a moment like that today. I plan to. Let's go ahead and take the hands together to prayer at the heart. Take a moment to check in, see what's happening, see how you feel. Note anything in the body you need to be aware of and take care of. Note anything that feels fantastic. You can bring your hands together in prayer at the heart if you haven't already. Offer up an intention for this time together, and we'll open with the sound of 3 ohms, taking a deep breath in. Let your eyes flit open. Let's shift up to hands and knees. Bring your hands under your shoulders and your knees under your hips. Untuck your toes so the tops of the feet can touch down on the mat. And on your inhale, drop the belly. Roll open through the shoulders, tilt the hips up, take a look up for cow. And as you exhale, round the spine, tuck under the tailbone, drop the head for cat. Next, inhale back open to cow. And next, exhale, round to cat. So take yourself through a few more of these on your own. Inhaling to cow, exhaling to cat. Now would be a good time to start your playlist, which I believe is called Monday 4-4. 4-6. 4-6. So again, a few moments of free form moving around. And when you feel ready, start to draw your hips back toward your heels for a child's pose. So you can separate the knees a little bit more. Rock the hips back, stretch out long in front of you through the arms. Let the forehead release down. And start just taking a few deep breaths here, feeling the back body move, feeling the breath move through the side ribs. Take a walk with your hands over to the left diagonal, root into the right hip a little bit more.
Breathe along the right ribs, around the right shoulder, and into the low right back. And then walk through center, reach out to the right diagonal, root through the left hip, and breathe through the left side. Walk back through center. Space the fingers out evenly, root into the fingerprints. Inhale to tuck under the toes, and exhale, let your hips rise for downward dog. You can keep a little bend through the knees, pedal the legs, wiggle the hips a few times. And then keeping a good amount of bend in the knees, start a nice slow walk toward the front of the mat. Take your time getting there. Then when you get to the front of the mat, set the feet to about your hips distance, keep a little bend through the knees, hold on to opposite elbows. You can sway a little bit side to side. You can shift forward and back a few times. And then keeping that gentle bend in the knees, release the elbows, bring the hands to the hips, and start a slow rise up to stand. Good. Once you're up to standing, take the hands together in prayer at the heart. Take a moment to arrive here. Then with your inhale, circle your arms out and up, so you probably won't be able to see this on Facebook. I'm holding my, you can take hold of your right wrist in your left hand, and then step the right foot behind the left. So I'm not going to mirror you guys today. Coming back up through center, step the feet together, reach for your left wrist, step your left ankle behind the right, and lean off to the right. And then step through center one more time, circle the arms out and up. And as you exhale, fold forward over your legs. Inhale to rise halfway. And exhale, step your left toes back. You might like to have blocks under your hands for this, or anything that you have available that brings the floor a little closer. Settle into the hips, look a little bit forward, take a good breath in, and then lift up your hips and lengthen both legs. Inhale to bend. Exhale to lengthen. Inhale, bend. And exhale, lengthen. And bend your right knee, release your left knee down and tuck the toes. Take this right hand block and move it halfway back, then walk your hands up to the top of the right knee. Press yourself up nice and tall by pushing the hands against the knee, reach the arms up, hold on to that left wrist, tilt off to the right, swim your hand down to the block, and lean off to the right. Try to notice if you're pitched forward, and bend a little bit more into the right knee and try to lean back a little bit. And then as you exhale, circle down around the front foot, shift the hips back, wiggle the right foot a little further forward, turn to the heel. Inhale to sit up a bit taller. Exhale to fold. Sometimes it's nice to bring your hand right into this crease of the right hip, draw it not just down but back behind you a little bit more. So I'm going to turn my back to you for a moment, start to swim around to the side of your mat. So you're kneeling on your left shin, the right leg reaches out in front of you, reach the arms nice and wide, and then tilt toward that outstretched leg. Circle down, place your hands over off in front of you so you're facing the side of the mat. From here you'll plant your right hand, raise your left arm up to the sky, and then thread your left arm underneath, so you're reaching out for that front leg, letting your shoulder release to the mat, reaching your right arm out in front of you. Take a breath there. And start to walk in a little bit closer, turn to face forward, and begin to draw the right leg back to meet the left. So we're on all fours. From all fours, walk the hands a little forward, shift the hips a little forward, knees down, or toes tucking under, knees up. Take a good breath in, and as you exhale, lower all the way down to the belly. Flip to the tops of the feet, walk the hands by the ribs, inhale, cobra. Exhale, lower back down. Inhale again to cobra, reach long through the inner feet, so the big toe edges of the feet reach back. Exhale, lower. Third inhale can be another cobra, or you can press your arms straight, find an up dog. And as you exhale, tuck under the toes, lift the hips high. Take a few breaths in your down dog, pedal out your legs a little bit, whatever you need here. With your inhale, lift to tiptoes, look forward, and with your exhale, walk or hop your feet forward. Inhale, rise halfway, and exhale, fold a little deeper. Root into your feet, inhale, rise up to stand. Again, you can't see this on Facebook. You're going to take hold of your left wrist. I'm not mirroring you. Step your left foot behind the right, lean off to the right. Walk through center, circle your arms out and up, take hold of the right wrist. Step the right foot behind, tilt. And then come back up through center. Circle the arms out and up. And exhale to fold forward over your legs. Inhale, rise halfway. Exhale, step your right toes back. And again, if you want your hands on the blocks, if you've got them, or whatever you're using for blocks, go for it. Settle the hips, look slightly forward. And then lift up the hips to lengthen the leg. Inhale to bend. Exhale to lengthen. Inhale to bend. And exhale, lengthen. Inhale, bend your knee, release your right knee down, and tuck your right toes. Walk the left hand block halfway back. Walk your hands up to the top of the knee, reach the arms up. Hold onto your right wrist and your left hand, pull up, lean left, lean a little back if you want. You can swim your hand down to that block. And again, watch that it's not this sort of hinged forward shape. So a little more bend into the left knee and the feeling of leaning back. Circle down around your front foot. Shift your hips back, wiggle the left foot forward, turn to the heel. And sit up a little bit taller. As you exhale, begin to bow forward. And you can take your hand again into that crease of the left hip, draw down and hug that left hip a little further behind you. So you're giving yourself your own hands-on assist. And start to release that, and we'll do a little pivot. So you're going to swing around to face the long right edge of your mat, kneeling on the right shin. Outer edge of the left foot is parallel to the front of the mat. And then you're leaning out toward that outstretched leg. Roll back the right ribs, take a good breath in. And as you exhale, circle your hands down around and place them out in front of you. Move your left hand a little bit more towards center, raise the right arm up to the sky, and then dive the right arm underneath. So you're catching hold of the leg, lowering your right shoulder to the mat or your right side of your head. Coming back up. Start to just swing it around, back to all fours. Hips in front of the knees, they are welcome to stay down. Otherwise, again, tuck under the toes, lift the knees, take an inhale. And as you exhale, you can lower halfway down and hover or to the belly. With your inhale, choose cobra or up dog. Hips are off the mat, tops of the feet rooting, knees are lifting as well. And exhale, down dog. Pause and breathe, hang out, move around a little bit. And as you're ready, inhale, lift to your tiptoes, look forward, and exhale, walk or hop your feet to the top of the mat. Inhale, rise halfway. Exhale, fold. Root into the feet, inhale, rise all the way up to stand. Let's take hold of the right wrist, lengthen, and tilt off to the left. The right ankle can step behind. And then inhale, step through center. Hold on to the left wrist. Step the left ankle behind to the left. Back through center. Circle the arms out and up. And exhale as you fold forward over the legs. Inhale, rise halfway. Exhale, place your hands down, walk back to plank. Take an inhale and plank. And exhale, lower half or all the way down. Inhale, choose cobra or up dog. Exhale, down dog. Pause and take a few breaths. With your inhale, lift to tiptoes, look forward, and exhale, walk or hop your feet to the top of the mat. Inhale, rise halfway. Exhale, fold and root into your feet. Inhale, rise. We'll take hold of the left wrist, tilt off to the right, left ankle steps behind. Back up to center. Catch the right wrist, step the right leg behind, tilt left. Back up to center, circle the arms out and up. Exhale, fold forward over the legs. Inhale, rise halfway. Use one exhale, step back and lower or hop back and land halfway down. Inhale to your cobra or your up dog. And exhale, back to down dog. We'll try one more of these together and a couple more on our own. Take one more breath here. And when you feel ready, take a walk or a hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, rise halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come up to stand. Hold on to the right wrist. Step the right leg behind. Lean off to the left. Coming back up through center. Circle the arms out and up. Hold on to the left wrist. Step the left foot behind. Lean off to the right. Back through center. Inhale. And as you exhale, fold forward over your legs. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, walk or hop your feet back. You've got a vinyasa if you'd like one. We meet back in down dog. You find a few deep breaths here. And we'll take probably 2 more rounds independently. So I'll flow with you. You can also kind of do your own thing. So if something wants to change, you want to add something or take something away, go for it. A little bit of time to move and breathe on our own. So we'll take one more trip through and pause in the next downward dog. So we'll meet up there. As you make your way into that down dog, think about rooting into the inner edges of the hands, so base of the index, base of the thumb, long through the inner line of the arms, easy around the shoulders and neck. One last breath. With your inhale, lift to tiptoes, look up. And with your exhale, walk or hop your feet up. Inhale to rise halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up to stand. Exhale, prayer to the heart. Take a minute, arrive. Find a breath or two. And with your next inhale, we'll circle the arms out and up. And exhale to fold forward over the legs. Inhale, rise halfway. As you exhale, step back the left toes, stay on the toes, and let the arms rise for a high lunge. Catch hold of the left wrist, lengthen up, tilt off to the right, lean a little back. And then circle your hands down around the front foot. So we'll do this really slowly. You're going to turn your right toes off to the right, fall to the outer edge of the left foot, and then get a little loungy. Let your hips lounge low, reach back behind you. And then lift the hips, swim the right arm up over your head. We'll do that 2 more times. Lower, reach back. Lift as you swim up and over. One more time. Lower, reach back. Lift, swim up and over. Let's turn the right toes forward, lift up the hips and lengthen both legs. Then step your right foot back to meet your left. You can hang out here, or you can take a vinyasa, up to you. Find a breath. With your next inhale, float that right leg up to the sky, and then step the right foot inside of the right hand. So come on down to the sole of the back foot. Turn the left toes a little bit more forward, and let the arms rise. We'll find a warrior one. And from the warrior one, begin to circle the hands behind you. Interlace them. Wrap back the heads of the shoulders. Lift the heart. And as you exhale, begin to bow forward. Humble warrior. See if you can really let the head and the neck go. Keep asking the shoulder blades to hug closer. Take one more breath. With your inhale, rise up. Reach the arms up. And we'll turn to face the left side of the mat, setting up a parallel stance. Dive your hands forward and reach out the arms off to the side so it's like a wide-legged down dog. Keep your left hand planted. Dive your right hand underneath and hold on to that outstretched left leg. So you're peeking up underneath the left arm. Start to release that. Walk your hands back underneath you and turn to face the front of the mat. Place both hands inside of the right foot. Flip up to the back tiptoes. And just give that right thigh a little press as you lean back. Turning the right toes a little more forward. Start to push off of the back tiptoes. Step the left foot outside of the left hand. And take a little malasana here. It doesn't have to be low. I always recommend the heels stay grounded. Arms rise up to the sky. When you're ready to go, push off. Hands to prayer at the heart. Step the feet a little closer. And with your inhale, circle your arms out and up. As you exhale, fold forward over your legs. Inhale to rise halfway. And exhale to step your right toes back. Stay on the toes, let the arms rise. Hold on to the right wrist with your left hand, lengthen. Tilt left, lean a little back. And then circle your hands down around your front foot. So your left toes are going to turn off to the left. You're going to fall to the outer edge of the right foot, sink the hips, reach back, get a little loungy, and then it's like drawing a rainbow shape with your left arm. Hips lift, push the earth away with that right hand. Lower the hips, reach back. Lift the hips, press the earth away. And one more time, lower. This time as you lift, swing those left toes to the front of the mat. Adjust the back foot a little bit, lengthen out both legs. Then step your left foot back to meet the right. Hang out in your down dog, or take yourself through a vinyasa, your choice. From here, flip the left heel, and then curl the knee in, step the foot inside of the hand. Come down to the back heel, spin the right toes a little more forward, let the arms rise, find warrior one. Circle your hands behind you, interlace them. Reach back, lift the heart, and then bow forward, humble warrior. See if the chin can come a little closer to the throat so you can access the feeling of the back of the head growing more broad. Take one last breath here. On your inhale, rise up, free the arms, push the front leg straight. Let's spin to face the long edge of the mat, right side. And then bow forward over the legs. Start to walk the hands further out in front of you, reaching off again to the right edge of the mat. The right hand stays reaching out. The left arm dives underneath, so you catch hold of the outer edge of the right leg. Peek up underneath your arm. And then unwind that. Walk the hands in a little closer and turn to face the front of the mat. So your left toes can point out a little bit. You can spin up to the back tiptoes. Kind of press into that leg, lean back a little bit. Turn the left toes a bit further forward, and when you're ready to go, it's a push off of the back toes. Right foot steps outside of the right hand. Find, again, a sustainable seat. It's got grounding, but it's got power, potential. And come on up from there. Walk the feet closer. Bow forward over the legs. Inhale to rise halfway. Exhale, step your left toes back. Stay on the toes. Arms rise, high lunge. From there, hold on to your left wrist. Lengthen, tilt off to the right, lean a little back. And then circle your hands down around your front foot. Start to turn your right toes to the right. Fall to the outer edge of the left foot. Last time we were here, we were doing this little loungy shape. And then rainbowing up and over. You can keep with that. Or if you want to try, you can start to reach in front of the right shin. And then up and over. So lowering, reaching in front. And then we do all meet in this kind of reach up and over shape. Spin it around, adjust the feet a little bit. Lift up your hips, lengthen the legs. Step your right foot back to meet the left. If you want a three-legged dog and a three-legged vinyasa, go for it. Any vinyasa is great. No vinyasa is absolutely great too. We meet back in down dog. From here, raise your right leg up to the sky and then step your right foot inside of your right hand. Back heel down for a warrior two stance. So let your left toes turn a little bit more to the side of the room. You might explore a longer stance in the warrior two. Let's move it up to peaceful warrior, breathing in. And then place the right forearm to the right thigh. Think about continuing to lengthen this inner edge of the right thigh. So I like to imagine that my inner right knee is reaching forward. You can sweep the left arm up and over your head. Shoulder blade has to move to do that, so you don't need to tug your arm onto your body in this shape. Last few breaths, if you want to drop your hand a little lower to the block or all the way down for a challenge, you can do that. And then rising back up, we'll take peaceful warrior. Push the right leg straight, come upright. Hop your back foot in a little bit closer. Draw the hips back, lengthen out through your crown, let your hand rest lightly on your lower leg. Stack the left arm over the right. You can swim the left arm over your head if you would like to. Both arms can reach forward if you want a bit more of a challenge. We'll rise up and sit back to peaceful warrior. It'll be a little shorter, so less of a bend in the knee. And let's shift it into Ardha Chandrasana. I want to make sure I don't go off camera here. Pretty good. For a challenge, that left arm can sweep up and over. Very challenging. Both arms can reach forward. And then put a little bend into the knee. Step it back. We'll take peaceful warrior and straighten that right leg. Then turn to face the side of the mat. So parallel your stance. Stay upright for the moment. And you're going to take your left hand kind of into the crease of the left hip. Bump your hips toward this right leg and just lean over to the left, breathing along that right side body. Rise up, bow forward over your legs. Reach out, kind of like a wide-legged down dog. And now dive your right arm underneath your left, holding onto the outer edge of the left leg. Release that. Walk your hands in a little closer. Turn to face the front of the mat. Flip up to your back tip toes. Last time we were here, we were kind of hanging out in this shape. You can work that again. Or work more of a diagonal reach. So taking your hands off to the left corner of your space as that back leg stays really strong. Take one more breath here. Walk your hands back under your shoulders. Push off the back toes a couple times when you're ready to go. Left foot outside of the left hand. And then have a seat and let the arms rise up. Come on up to stand. Feet underneath the hips, bow forward over your legs. Inhale, rise halfway. Exhale, step back your right toes. Stay on the tiptoes, let the arms rise. Hold on to the right wrist, lengthen, tilt left, lean a little back. And then circle down around your front foot. So again, turn your left toes off to the left. Fall to the outer edge of the right foot. Last time we were here, we were kind of a little loungy, and then we were swimming up and over. You can keep with that, or you can begin to swim your arm in front of the shin, and then sweep it forward. So reaching back or reaching in front of the shin, and then again we sweep it forward, lift the hips, spin it around, adjust a little bit, hands on either side of the left foot, lengthen the legs, and step the left foot back to meet the right. If you want a three-legged dog, go for it. You got a vinyasa if you'd like one, and we'll meet in the down dog. From down dog, raise the left leg up high and step the left foot inside of the left hand. Back heel down. Warrior two stance. So the right toe spin a little further out to the right. Right arm reaches back, left arm reaches forward. Long through this inner edge of the leg. Inner knee is reaching forward. Inhale to peaceful. And exhale, place your forearm to your thigh. Take the right arm up. When it spins up and over, you do not need to tug your shoulder onto your body. You can feel the shoulder lift. That's okay. Hang out here, or you can play with the arm reaching a little bit lower. Up to you. We'll take two more really good breaths. With your next inhale, rise up. We'll tip it back to peaceful warrior. And then push that left leg straight. Come upright. Hop your back foot a little bit closer, shorter stance. Hips draw back, crown draws forward. Your hand lands lightly on the lower leg. You can absolutely reach for a block and hang out with a block under your hand. From here, if you want to, you can swim that right arm up and over. Hang out. For more of a core challenge, both arms can reach forward. Rising back up, bring it to peaceful warrior. And we'll shift it into the balance. So again, I'm going to scoot a little back so I don't go off camera too much. Right leg rises. You can swim the right arm forward. That's optional. Both arms can reach forward, also optional. And then little bend in the knee, big step back. Good. Once you've landed, one more peaceful warrior. And then we'll press the legs straight and turn to face the long right edge of the mat. So staying upright for the moment, you're going to take your hand into that crease of the right hip, bump the hips off to the left, and then just reach right. So you should hopefully access this stretch kind of just above the left hip. Coming up, bow forward over your legs. Reach the hands a little further out in front of you. Keep the right hand rooted. Dive the left arm underneath. Hold the outer edge of the right leg. Imagine peeking up underneath that right arm. And start to walk the hands back underneath you and turn to face the front edge of the mat. So spin up to your back tiptoes. Walk the left foot a little further left. If you want to kind of get loungy here, perfect. If you want a little bit more of a sort of reach, strength move, hands reach out to the right diagonal. Root strongly back through your right heel. I always think of Spider-Man crawling up a building or something. One more breath. And then walk your hands back underneath your shoulders, tucking under the back toes. When you're ready to go, the right foot hops outside of the right hand. Find, again, a seat that has potential. So you don't want to feel stagnant or like you couldn't get up out of this shape. It should feel like you have access to your strength and power. Arms rise, come on up. Step your feet a little closer. Bow forward over your legs. Inhale to rise halfway up. Exhale, step back your left toes. Stay on the tiptoes, arms rise. Hold your left wrist, lengthen, tilt right, lean back. And then circle your hands down around your front foot. So we're going to take this little pivot, right toes turn off to the right. You fall to the outer edge of the left hip. You can sink the hips and reach back above or in front of the shin. In either case, you start to swim the right arm up and over, lift the hips. 2 more times, same thing. Lower and reach, and rise. Push into that left hand. 1 more time, lower reach, and lift. Then turn it back, spin up to the back tiptoes, frame around that right foot. Step back to your down dog, or 3-legged dog. Take a vinyasa, or a 3-legged vinyasa, your choice. Or no vinyasa, right? And then raise the right leg up to the sky. From there, step the right foot forward. We'll hop the back foot a little closer. Ground the heel. Place the hands on blocks. Hug the right hip back, lift up halfway. And then go forward over the leg. And spend a few breaths here. You can let the head release and relax. And sometimes it's fun to play with, again, the reach of the arms. So the left hand can reach a little forward, either with or without the block. And the right hand can reach a little back. One more breath. Frame around the foot. You can bring back the block under the left hand. This really helps me access the grounding in the back foot, which is so key to feeling not just stable, but again, powerful in the shape, right arm rising. So we want to twist while maintaining a fair amount of length through the spine, and it's easier to do that if we can really connect to that back heel rooting completely. So shortening your stance, putting your hand on a block, whatever you need. We've got 1 more breath, and then lower. So start to fire up the core. You can bend into the knees so that the spine can stay nice and long. Fly the arms. And then leading through the crown, come all the way up. And we'll turn to face the left, long left side of the mat. Once again, you're going to hold onto that left hip. Bump the hips off to the right. Lean to the left. So the toes are facing the side of your mat. And your crown is leaning off toward basically the back of your mat, the back short edge of your mat. Rising up, bow forward over the legs. You can reach the hands forward, dive the right arm underneath the left, peek up underneath the left arm, and then release that and walk the hands in a little closer. Lift halfway, and then bow a little further in. And so I keep seeing all these videos of people doing tripod headstand, and I just want you all to know if tripod headstand is a part of your practice, it's super, super important that your neck is healthy because there's a lot of weight being placed on the small cervical vertebrae, the vertebrae of your neck. I tend to prefer headstand with the forearms on the ground, so I just would say if you're not a regular practitioner of tripod headstand or you have a neck injury, that shape's not probably your best bet. Okay, so just make smart choices with your body. Turn to face forward, flip up to the back tiptoes. Walk the right foot a little further right. So again, we have a few choices here already. We have this situation. You can reach off to the left. I really like to add the prop of a block underneath my left quad. So my left kind of mid-thigh is being supported by the block. The hands reach off to the left. You breathe through the right side. And we'll take 2 more good breaths here. Walk your hands back underneath your shoulders. Slide that block out of the way. And when you step forward, you can just step your foot inside of your hands. Because we're going to rise halfway up, fold a little deeper, and come all the way up to stand, meeting the palms overhead. And then, I just clapped, that was funny. Take the right foot onto a block or again a book, and even if actually you don't have anything underneath your foot, you should still be able to feel a little bit of this when we come into the shape fully. So I like to have the other block out in front of me. Toes are even, feet are roughly hips distance apart. Both knees bend, your hips hinge back You reach out for whatever's available, chair, floor, whatever. Press that right leg a little bit straighter or all the way straight. And then the right hip is going to be higher than the left. It's an asymmetrical shape. Take your hands in the block and reach off to the left diagonal. And we'll stay here for a little bit. So if you didn't have any blocks, if you didn't have any props, and you just reached your hands over to the left while really strongly drawing back that right hip, you might even explore the left knee bending if you don't have that block. That's going to be a fantastic alternative if you do not have props. One more breath. Bend into both knees, walk the hands in the block back to center, rise up. And if you were using the blocks, just set them aside. Reset your feet. Inhale. What time is it? We're good. Inhale, scoop the arms up. It'd be nice to just do yoga all day, right? Fold forward over your legs. Inhale, rise halfway. Exhale, step the right toes back, rise up. Hold on to the right wrist. Tug up, tilt left, lean back. And then circle down around the front foot. Work that pivot. Turn the left toes to the left. Fold to the outer edge of the right foot. As you're reaching back, you can reach up higher, or again, lean forward and reach in front of the shin. And either way, the left arm swims forward, the hips lift. You push into the left hand, the right hand, working the right side body core. Reach back and swim up and over. Reach back and swim up and over. Turn your toes forward, flip up to the back tiptoes, lift up the hips, lengthen both legs. Step the left foot back to meet the right. Three-legged dog, three-legged vinyasa, anything you want to work there. Start to shift forward, lower if you're taking that vinyasa. When you take your cobra or up dog, don't shortchange the opportunity for an inhale. And then we'll come on back to down dog. Raise the left leg and step the left foot forward. Let's shorten up our stance. Hop the back foot a little closer. You want the right heel to be able to ground. Hang on to the blocks if you've got them. If you don't, it's fine to bend this front knee. I think the back leg would probably want to be straight. Inhale to lift halfway. And exhale, fold. And then if you want to play a little bit, the right hand can reach further forward, left hand can reach further back, with or without the help of the blocks. So again, I'm still going to feel a ton if I put a little bend into this front knee. One more breath. Start to bring the hands to frame the foot. And again, let your focus be on finding the root of that back foot so that you can experience this sort of integrity of the spine. You don't want to round the spine in order to get further into the shape. So if you were here and just working a tiny bit of a twist, but your spine is beautiful and long, that is preferable. So again, the block can be super helpful, and maybe you just don't go all the way into the twist. We'll take 3 more breaths. See if you can wind open that bottom arm. So upper right arm rolls open. You got 1 more breath here. Lower the left hand, and then we'll start to turn to face the right side of the mat. And from here, rising up, I don't know if I didn't do it that way last time. Let's do it exactly the same way. Come halfway up, fly the arms back, power up, and then rise. Little back core strengthening. Now we'll turn. So let your right hand rest right at that outer right hip crease. Bump your hips off to the left, then reach toward kind of the back end of your mat space. Then swim the hands down in front of you. Reach the hands forward. Right hand stays rooted as the left arm dives underneath. Hang out, breathe. Good. Coming out of that, just a moment folding forward. And again, if you have been working tripod headstand, it's really vitally important that your neck is super healthy, right? And if you're unsure, then maybe practice with the forearms on the mat and the crown of the head just lightly touching down. Or skip it, because guess what? We're all upside down right here. We're all in an inversion, even if the legs aren't in the air. Rise halfway up, start to turn to face the front of the mat. Place both hands inside of the left foot, so walk that left foot a little further left, spin up to the back tip toes. We were here, we were maybe reaching out on the right diagonal, or if you want to prop up that right thigh, and hang out with the thigh propped, maybe also reaching on the diagonal, you could. One more good breath. Walk your hands back underneath your shoulders. Slide that block out from underneath if you were using it. And then as you step forward, you're just going to step kind of in between the hands. Inhale to rise halfway. Exhale to fold a little deeper. With your inhale, come all the way up to stand. Hands to prayer at the heart. And we're going to take the left foot on the block if you have it. In every other way, you're setting up kind of like a normal Tadasana or mountain pose. So toes are even, feet are roughly 2 fists apart. And then begin to hinge the hips back as you bow forward. This other block can be for your hands at any of the heights. I like the 3rd height. Press the left leg straight, or as straight as it will go. And then once you're there, reach out on the diagonal. So reaching the hands off to the right corner. And again, if you didn't have the blocks, you could still reach on the diagonal. And you might instead try bending your right knee and then doing a really strong draw back of the left hip. Okay? And we'll take 3 more breaths. However, we have settled into this shape. Bend into both knees, walk the hands and the block back to center, rise up. And sit the blocks out of the way. Feet under the hips, sweep the arms up. And as you exhale, fold forward over your legs. Inhale to rise halfway. Exhale, walk or hop your feet back. You've got a Vinyasa if you want it. And we'll meet in down dog. From the down dog, raise your right leg up to the sky, and then bring the right shin to the front of the mat. So it's never necessary in my classes for the shin to be parallel to the front of the mat. That's putting a lot of torque on the knee joint. So you can bring the right foot a little closer into your left hip and just kind of play that by ear. Sitting up a little bit taller. This is a lovely place to be. I view this shape as a prep for back bending. And if you wanted to bow forward, maybe today you reach out on that diagonal again. And as you reach, you want to think of the points that are sort of creating the curve. So the right hand and then that right hip. So they want to reach in opposition. As the right hand reaches out, the right hip draws back. And you have one more really good breath here. Start to walk yourself upright and then back to face forward. Tuck under the back toes. Let's bring it to 3-legged dog. Lift your right leg really high. Open the hip, bend the knee. Imagine you wanted to like step on something over to the left of you. And you can maintain that. Sometimes it's nice to lower down to the left forearm as you're hanging out. If you'd like to flip your dog, you're really going to cash in the side body lengthening. So touch down the toes, sweep that right arm forward, try to access that length through the right side, and then come on back. Pedal it out, Vinyasa if you'd like to. We'll meet back in down dog and find a breath. And then from there, flip the left leg and bring the left shin to the front of the mat. Inch back the right knee. Set up something that feels okay for the knee, not necessary for your shin to be parallel. Sit up nice and tall. From there, if you want to, you can play with a diagonal reach, reaching out to the right corner. And then establish the points of the curve. So left hand and left hip are moving in opposition as the left hand reaches out. The left hip draws back. You want to imagine like you got gills on your left rib cage. You're breathing through those left ribs. Walk your hands in and then centered. Tuck under the back toes. Let's bring it to three-legged dog. Open the hip and bend the knee. You really want to let the leg lift up high. Let the hip roll open, and then imagine you wanted to step on something behind you. You can hang out here. You can practice lowering to that right forearm. If you wanted to flip your dog, cash in that nice side body lengthening we've been working on. And come on back. Vinyasa, if you'd like, we're going to meet in a child's pose. Knees to the mat, hips to the heels. And take a breath or two. And start to rise up to a kneeling seat. And if you need a block to kneel on, set that up for yourself so you don't want to experience knee pain here. Not worth it. We're going to go dynamically though, so that might sort of eliminate the issue for you. Right fingertips touch off to the right. Lift your hips. Sweep that left arm back. Come through center. Touch your left fingertips down. Sweep the right arm back. And we'll do that a few more times. Through center. Left arm sweeps back. Through center. Right arm sweeps back. You can keep playing with this. Or we'll bring it up to kneeling on the shins. And rather than touching the floor, we'll touch one of our heels. So as my left hand holds onto my heel, my right arm swims back. Same thing the other way. And I'm just going to set you free to play a little bit here. So you can keep swinging side to side. You could start to think about creating a whole big circle, which is really fun. So coming out the opposite way you came in. And you could pause, just reaching back behind you. This is a pretty deep back bend. It's intense. And so just take maybe 5 more breaths to work any of these ideas or maybe discover something new. And when you're done, come down to either again sitting on a block or resting your hips on your heels. Take a few breaths here. Shift your hips out to one side and swing your legs in front of you. And we're gonna roll into the back. When you get to the back, bring the knees in for a little hug and circle. Keep your right knee held, lengthen your left leg out. And then bring that right knee in a little closer if you'd like to. Only if it feels good. Sometimes it can kind of feel a little pinchy in the hip if you do that, so no worries if it doesn't feel good. Don't hug it closer. We'll move into a twist. So I like to set my left foot down, bump my hips off to the right. When you come into the twist, you would want to feel that right hip stacking over the left. We're going to play a little bit here, so if you get lost or you just want to stay in the twist, please just stay in the twist. You can always come back to this video later if you don't get it the first time. I'm going to start to stretch my right leg straight, so my foot is reaching out to the left side. And then I'm going to start to reach my right hand toward my left to roll myself onto the belly. So I'm a little off my mat. My right leg is reaching out to the right. It's an option to bend the knee here if this is a little much. You can come upright for a little extra kind of back bendy shape. And then my favorite thing to do is draw the right arm underneath the left, bring the left hand against the right. And get a little twist here. And again, if you got lost along the way, no worries. You can come back, try it later, or just skip the whole thing. As you're coming back out, you're rolling onto your back again. Pause on your side. Swim that right leg behind you and reach the right arm up and over. So you're kind of Xing the body with the right arm and right leg. And then we come onto the back. Scoot yourself back to center. Wash the knees side to side a few times. And then hold the left knee as you straighten the right leg out. Hang out here. If it feels good, hug the knee closer. If it gets a little pinched in there, your job might be actually to energize the shin into your hands. Okay, that's valuable too. From there, you can send the right foot down, scoot the hips off to the left, and draw into the twist. This is one of these shapes that you can hang out in for a while. You can do any time of the day. Looks like I lost my Facebook live feed. If you want to play a little bit, you'll send that left leg out, roll to the belly. It's time for the left knee to bend. From here, you can come up to the forearms. You can twist, bringing the right hand to the left. And then as you unwind, if you were taking that variation, pause on your side. Swing your left arm behind you. Reach your left arm up and over. And then back onto the back. Get yourself centered on your mat. We'll end with a little happy baby. So soles of the feet pointing to the sky. Your knees are wide of your arms in one variation. So this is one option. If it feels good, you could bring the knees inside of the arms. This is a little bit more compression, a little bit more of a flexed spine shape. And this might not bring you to plow, but it is sometimes fun to straighten the legs here and just lift a little off of the heels. It's a nice massage for a lot of the muscles that run along the back. And any other shapes that get you ready to rest. Once you're ready to rest, feet go a little wider than hips distance. Let them flop open. Arms are wide at the sides of the body. Palms face up. Connect to a few generous breaths here. Take this resting time, so I'll probably end the video before your resting time is done. But take this time, again, to experience being with yourself for a little bit, right? This time where it's just you hanging out with you. It doesn't always feel easy. It doesn't always feel like our first choice. But it's a nice opportunity to really hang out with what we're feeling, how we're feeling, giving ourselves the time, space, and attention.
Thanks again, everybody, for joining me. Donation info is up on the screen now. Hope you enjoyed practice, and I can't wait to practice with you again sometime soon.